Hi, I'm Pam, and I'm here to talk about retro video games. Today, I'm talking about a man named Joe Musashi. He is a master ninja. His hands and feet are lethal, and he knows ninja magic. And it's been a while since we last saw him, but that's about to change. This video is brought to you by SEGA. Let me tell you about Shinobi. Joe Musashi first leapt onto arcade cabinets in 1987, where the first Shinobi game would become a smash hit in both Japan and America, and get ported to the Sega Master System as well as other home consoles of the era. In this game, you take on the role of Musashi as he goes up against the Zed organization. Over 5 missions, you need to rescue hostages, defeat baddies, and take on bosses. You can leap through the air, throw shurikens to hit enemies at range, punch and kick those close by, as well as duck out of danger. You also get limited-use special ninja powers called ninjutsu that let you summon tornadoes or do a doppelganger attack. Rescuing hostages can upgrade some of your normal attacks, and getting 100,000 points will give you an extra life, which will be sorely needed. The Master System version gives you a life bar, which makes things a little easier than arcade, but it's still really tough. The coolest thing about the original Shinobi, to me, is the bonus rounds in between missions. Here, you take on a first-person perspective and chuck throwing stars at enemies running across the screen. With the success of the first game, of course there was more Shinobi to come. The series would go on to get another release on arcade, releases on the Game Gear and PlayStation 2, and even a release on the Saturn that included FMV cutscenes. But where the series really became a masterclass of 2D action platforming was on the SEGA Genesis. 1989 saw the release of the Revenge of Shinobi. The Zed organization is back as Neo Zed, and they've assassinated your sensei and kidnapped your girl. Joe is out for revenge and rescue. The move to the Genesis brings with it an upgrade to large, detailed sprites with great animations and an incredibly cool and dangerous-looking intro. You can also choose your difficulty level, which will continue through all the Genesis games. Joe's basic moves are similar to the first game, but now he's even more agile with a somersault double jump and the ability to throw 8 shurikens at once while somersaulting. You'll also find crates scattered about the stages, which can give you health, more throwing knives, or blow up in your face. You have 4 different ninjutsu powers to choose from: a protective lightning spell, columns of fire to rain upon enemies, extra jumping ability. You can even become a human bomb if you've got the extra life for it. Ninjutsu powers all come with a great animation where Joe thrusts his sword above him and calls forth the power. The Revenge of Shinobi sees Joe traveling through cityscapes, villages, junkyards, on highways, and even the tops of subway trains. The water levels, with turbulently crashing waves, are particularly impressive. How do you improve on such a classic? Add a dog. Shadow Dancer: The Secret of Shinobi came out on the Genesis in 1990 and is loosely based on the second arcade game. While Joe is out for revenge again, this time he's in New York. He has a dog, and he's fighting lizard people. This game feels more arcadey than the Revenge of Shinobi did, with a level timer constantly shown on screen and text pop-ups appearing when you rescue hostages and get points or power-ups. There are just 3 ninjutsu here, and they're all offensive. You can wreak havoc on your foes with fire, wind, or meteorites. The best part is obviously the dog, Yamato. When his meter fills, you can send your canine pal in to grab a hold of an enemy so you can move in for an attack. If you're not a good dog daddy, Yamato may be temporarily knocked down to puppy size, but don't worry, he'll get better. Shadow Dancer ups the intensity with some unique stages where you ride elevators or fall through the air, and has a killer soundtrack. And that brings us to my favorite of the series, a 1993 game that took full advantage of everything the Genesis could offer: Shinobi III: Return of the Ninja Master. Joe's back, but so is Neo Zed.
Luckily, you've got some new tricks up your sleeve to deal with them. You're faster, you can dash across the screen. You're more agile, you can wall jump or grab onto ceilings and pipes and spider walk across gaps. There's also a death kick for enemies just out of reach. Where I think the game really shines is in how it changes things up from level to level. In Stage 2, you'll find yourself racing through a meadow on horseback, having to jump over obstacles and facing off against a mini-boss who throws spears at you from above. Later, you'll make it to a facility where you ride an elevator on a constantly scrolling screen and enemies attack you from both sides. In Stage 4, you get to ride a jet ski and take on a flying mechanical boss. Stage 6 starts with another vertically scrolling segment, but this time you're jumping between falling rocks while fighting assassins and need to be careful not to fall. The levels are all distinct and layered, there's excellent parallax scrolling, the controls are tight, and the game has a really nice difficulty curve. It starts out fairly forgiving before it starts upping the challenge. It's just a great game all around and made me love playing as a ninja master.
It's been a long time since Joe Musashi took out Neo Zed on the SEGA Genesis, but the forces of evil don't sleep. On August 29th this year, he will return to a world that needs him in Shinobi, Art of Vengeance.
In this new game from SEGA, Joe returns to his village to find it has been burned to the ground and his kinsmen turned to stone. He'll need to travel through many stunning environments and take on all kinds of foes to defeat the evil Lord Ruse and bring justice to his fallen kinsmen. From what we've seen so far, this looks like a game to be excited about. It takes the best of retro action platformers and modernizes it, giving it a visual upgrade and making things even quicker and more intense.
I love how the gameplay looks. You can see a definite through line to the previous 2D games with the death kick and the spider walk across ceilings. There are punishing close range attacks and the throwing knives are still there, but it also looks like you'll have some new tools in your arsenal.
I'm particularly excited about the air dash and new grappling ability that makes Joe look more versatile than ever. I definitely see some callbacks to Shinobi 3, with sections that will change things up by letting you ride a wolf or a jet ski, and I'm pumped to see the Falling Rocks level make a comeback.
The ninjutsu are here and they look better than ever.
The trailer clearly shows the Karyu, Art of the Fire Dragon, and the visuals are stunning. I like how the effect takes place in the foreground of the screen and it really puts the burn on enemies.
The new art style looks great. I love the old pixel art, but this move to a more hand-drawn Japanese ink painting style is really striking.
Shinobi Art of Vengeance is releasing on August 29th for Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4 and 5, Switch, and PC. You can pre-order now for 10% off at shinobi.sega.com.
I'm excited for more Shinobi and will definitely be playing this when it comes out. Thanks for taking the time to listen to me talk about the highlights of the Shinobi series. Leave me a comment and let me know what your favorite Shinobi game is.
Thank you to SEGA for sponsoring this video. If you want to see more from me, check out my full review of Shinobi 3 or another of my videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.